Hello.
I think, therefore I'm odd. How many of you are thinkers in the audience? Not drinkers or stinkers, but thinkers. People that ponder, people that wonder, people that think. Good, because I like to make people think wherever I am. Last week I was at the dentist getting yet another crown done in my mouth, and I can't believe my dentist never heard it until I told him. I have more crowns than the Queen of England. And on my way out by the receptionist desk is this young guy, he's probably around 30 years old. Young is always depending on where you're at. And he had just had 2 teeth pulled out of his mouth, and he was in agony, and he only had about 6 left. And I looked at him and I said, do you believe in God? To a total stranger, because I was thinking. And he said to me, yeah, I do. And I said to him, well, if God's so fucking smart, so omnipotent, so fully present, I said, why didn't he make our teeth out of stainless steel? And the kid looked at me and he's like, oh. And I could see him like I had started that thinking chain. So I've thought about God for many years in my life, and some of the mistakes that God has made. So I'm going to give you a few, maybe they'll get your juices going. Number 1, we're supposed to believe that God created everything. So he starts with the lobster. Big mistake. Not enough meat. And then he makes man. Makes the same mistake. Okay? So then I go further into my mind and I say, okay, let's think about the creation of the physical body. Arms. How many of you really know what to do with your arms when you go to bed at night? You're doing this. You got them between your legs. I don't know about you. I wake up usually my hand's so numb I think part of my body died. Yet this same God was smart enough to make the penis retract. Think about that. Now I say, why can't you just press your belly button and have your arms shrink up and go into a cute little cave like the penis does? Okay? Then I think about being a woman, which is truly a curse, especially for you guys that, well, I'm sure that when your women bleed, they make you bleed too. Because I know I was good for that with my husband. I'm bleeding bastard. You're going to bleed along with me. And I said, okay, the whole purpose of this supposed menstrual cycle, even though men don't bleed, so to keep it fair, I made sure mine did, is to drop an egg if you want to procreate. And I'm like, all that mess, all that pain, all we had to do was this, drop an egg. Okay, let me pull my left ear, I want to drop an egg now, ruin my life forever and have some kids. So when you look at what passes for omnipotent, all-knowing, etc., yeah, I got to tell you that I got a few bones to pick with God once I leave this planet, especially on the whole woman thing. So then you get this other part of it, where God blesses you, and he lets you have a baby. And you get this beautiful gift, a beautiful little baby, and then to get even, he lets it grow. Okay? Now I can tell you that my son makes Bart Simpson look like an overachiever. I said to him, okay, you're 30 years old, you're nowhere in your life, your tombstone right now, if you dropped dead, would read very simply, born, slept, died. And the thing is, he seems to be happy with that. So here I am, and I'm sure anybody in this room that's over 50 and still dating, you probably said when you were young, holy shit, there's no way at 50 I'm going to still be dating. And for you young people who are actively dating, dating becomes an entirely different thing after 50. First of all, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel, literally, okay? I've dated men who, by the second date, I told them, I can tell you why your wives left you, okay? Plus, most of the men I've met over 50 know nothing about romance, nothing about female anatomy. I actually had a man ask me if I would mind touching myself. And And I looked at him and I said, what the fuck are you here for? And I did offer him some anatomy classes, but I think he was too stupid to really get with the program. But it's interesting, a couple of weeks ago I was out to dinner with a girlfriend, and this young guy is about 28 years old, starts hitting on me. And I said to myself, well, okay, where's this going? I have genes older than him. That's my criteria. If I have genes older than you, the answer's no. And then it dawned on me. I said, holy shit. He's looking for somebody to take care of him. I'm now one of those women, you know. And I looked at him and I said, listen, I'm already taking care of a young man. It's called my son. And I can only handle one bloodsucker at a time. So that was pretty much the end of that. But I think that a lot of you here might be on what is now termed a starter marriage. I don't know if any of you are in a starter marriage. That's kind of like a USB partner. Some of you might be on USB dating, and I call that until something better comes along, okay? And I've actually heard people tell me that. Well, you know, I'd like to take you out, but I am living with this woman, but I'm only with her until something better comes along. So dating today is entirely different than it was, you know, 30 or 40 years ago. But I can tell you that what I have found from my own experience is that a lot of people are still trapped in the 60s. Oops. And they're still using lines from the 60s. I went out with, I won't even say who fixed me up with this guy. Mom, he's very wealthy. Mom, he's very wealthy. I think the two of you will get along great. And I went out to dinner with him. We went back to his place. And after some mundane, totally boring conversation, his idea, I don't know, this mic doesn't
God's mad at you.
His idea, he can get on a long list. She can get on a long list. His idea of dating was after some bullshit, mundane conversation. He came out of the bathroom, he walked behind me, reached around behind me and did this. Now, I don't know about you ladies, but this doesn't exactly turn me on. And I looked at him and I said, how old are you? And I said, I hear my mother calling and I have to go. My mother's been dead for 18 years, but she still comes into play. Some of the hot button issues, and I'd like to talk a little bit about politics, so this might blend a little bit. Okay, some of the hot button issues today are whether or not gay people should get married. I've been married and divorced 3 times, and I say, why not? Let them suffer just the same as the rest of us. And one day they'll thank us for saying, wow, we voted against you get married. But I say, hey, let it be equal opportunity for everybody. Anyway, thanks a lot.